Hi everybody, welcome back. So today we've got something special, something that's kind of different, it's going to be a big one. It's going to be a big one. Here's the Rincoe Manto Max in all its glory. So this is sort of like a pod mod, but it does take two 18650 batteries. They are not included, but there is so many differences about it. First of all, when you buy the kit like this, you're going to have a cartridge that's installed. It comes with 2 coils and it does hold 8 mils of e-liquid, but it also comes with a 510 adapter. So you will actually get the kit and a 510 adapter just by purchasing the kit. So that is awesome. Now, another thing that they do have 2 more things that you can actually purchase separately, which we're also going to be looking at, which is going to be the RBA coil and then something else that's really, really different. This is the RDTA. Yeah, it is. It's the RDTA. The RDTA literally has an RDA type of deck and top cap, and then it has the same type of cartridge that this comes with. So yeah, so before I say anything more, let's go ahead and go down. We're going to go through all of this, and then we're going to come back up and we're going to vape on it, and I'm going to tell you my thoughts about it. So let's go ahead and look at the Rincoe Manto Max in all its glory. Okay, so here we are with a whole bunch of stuff today. So today we're going to be doing a review over the Rincoe Manto Max 228 watt kit, which is like a pod mod system sort of, but then we're also going to have the Manto Max RDTA that fits it, as well as the 510 adapter, which actually comes with this when you purchase it, which is great, and then also an RBA coil. So this might be a little bit lengthy, so my apologies. First, we're going to be going over the Manto Max kit, and then we're going to go over the remainder of the items. So for the Manto Max kit, this is a 228 watt device. It does come with 2 coils, a single mesh and a dual mesh. This does take 2 18650 batteries that are not included, and I do have the color black. This is the box that it comes in. There you go. And on the back, it's got some kit contents, but their updated packaging, since this is sample packaging, their updating packaging actually has the word 510 adapter. So you are going to be getting this adapter with the kit. Inside, you're going to get your Manto Max 228 kit user manual. You're going to have some specifications right here, quality certificate. You're also going to get the service and warranty card. So make sure that you take care of that and fill it out. Then you're going to have your battery safety card. Very, very important, especially for new vapors out there. You always want to make sure that your batteries are in pristine conditions, no rips, tears, or burrs or whatever. It's got to be in perfect condition so that you don't have any issues. And then we have the Manto Max package. In addition to that, you're going to get an extra coil and a USB port. We'll be going over the extra coil in a minute. So here's the Rincoe Manto Max. This is like a pod mod sort of device, but it's more like a tank or like a sub-ohm kit, to be honest with you, or an all-in-one. I like to call them all-in-ones. So on the sides, you're going to have some really, really big airflow. On the back, you have no indications, no branding or anything. Then you're going to have your fire button, your minus, your plus regulatory buttons, your USB port. On the bottom, it does say Manto Max 228 watt kit designed by Rincoe. And then if you open that up, you're going to have some battery indications here, some battery indication in the inside. So it's got positive, negative there and positive, negative here. And then all you need to do is just put in your batteries, drop those in, and then you close the door. This has absolutely no battery rattle at all. They fit very, very snug inside. Then on the top, you're going to have this cartridge, which comes out like this. It is held together by some really, you can feel it pulling it back, a really, really strong magnets. You've got 1 here, 2 there, and there's your connectors that connect to the bottom of the coil. And then this cartridge here does hold 8 mils of e-liquid. You heard me right, 8 mils of e-liquid. It does have a fixed drip tip, but it's not an uncomfortable drip tip. It's almost the inner diameter of an 810 drip tip, so I really like that. So where it has down, you're actually going to pull up, and that is going to be your fill port right there. And then you can close it down like that. Top fill, automatic pro right there. I'm going to tell you that sneak peek. Little bit of info. And then of course on the bottom or inside of it, you're going to have a coil. This coil is actually their single mesh 0.3 ohm resistance coil. This is good between 50 to 70 watts. And this is what that looks like. So you can have a look at that. The other coil that they provide you is the 0.2 ohm resistance coil. This one is good between 60 to 75 watts. This is the dual mesh. And that's what that looks like. So you can see the two coils right in there, and they're both filled with mesh. And then separately, you can actually purchase triple mesh. And this one is 0.15 ohm resistance, 80 to 100 watts. And this is what it looks like. It's literally got 3 mesh coils in there. Really, really beefy. Between this one and the 0.2, this one, of course, is a little bit smaller because it is the single mesh, because it's a single mesh. In order to have the dual or the triple mesh, you will need more room. That's why these are a little bit bigger. So today we're going to be using the 0.15 ohm resistance triple mesh coil. So what I'm going to do is, the first thing that you want to do before you install any type of coil is you want to go ahead and prep or prime up that coil. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a little bit of e-liquid here, a little bit of e-liquid here, a little bit of e-liquid here. There we go. And then you always want to put just a little bit on the inside just to get it started. It's not to let it soak in or to fill it up or anything like that. It's just to start that process of, you know, getting it in. Then what you want to do is you do want to make sure there's like a little slot here or a little divot here and a divot here. That is where your airflow goes. So as you can see right there, if you can see through it, that's the airflow. So you want them facing one on each side and the flat part right in front of you, and then just push it down. You want to make sure that you push it all the way in, and that way it's actually installed and there won't be any leaking or anything, but you do have to push it all the way in. You'll feel it when it goes in. So once you do that, then to fill it, all you need to do is lift this up and fill it. So for this device, to turn it on, it is 5 clicks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 turns on the device. And on the front of it, it doesn't look, in the camera, it's not looking to be as dim as it really is. It's not overly dim when it's in the white, but it is kind of a dim type of display, and you'll see that later on in the video. All right, so this does go anywhere from 1 watt to 228 watts in a heartbeat. And the great thing about this is if you hit that plus again, it does round robin. So you don't have to worry about going all the way back down. Now you do have your battery indications right there. It is for both batteries. And then this right here is your seconds fired. You're going to have your resistance and your voltage while firing. And then down here is your colors. So to get into the settings, you're going to click your fire button 3 times. 1, 2, 3 will get you into the settings. So right now it's got the variable wattage flashing. If you push the left or the right, it'll go over. Right now it's showing nickel because that's temperature control, titanium, stainless steel. I'm going to go ahead and pick the stainless steel for you real quick. And that is the stainless steel. Now in stainless steel, if you notice, it does give the resistance as well as your wattage in stainless steel. This can be changed by pressing the minus and your fire button. Once you do that, the wattage is going to start blinking and you can go ahead and change it. This does go up to a full 228 and it does round robin as well. So I do love when you have temperature control that you actually have the option to also change the wattage in temperature control. So that's definitely, you know, a good thing. Now, if you notice, it is 585 degrees Fahrenheit. This does go up to a full 600 degrees Fahrenheit, and then it does round robin into Celsius. To get back out of temperature control, it's 3 clicks of your fire button. 1, 2, 3. This is going to get us back to stainless steel, and now we're back to variable wattage. Now, if you press the plus and the minus buttons at the same time, this will actually lock it. Now, while it's locked, you can still fire the device, but you will not be able to change any of your settings because it is locked. To unlock it, just press your plus and minus again. Now, if you want to go into the colors, to change your colors, what you want to press is your plus and your fire button. When you do this, the little light down here is going to be blinking. And if you press over to the right, that's the red. You see what I mean? It's kind of hard to see the red. This is the teal or the blue. The next one is your green, then yellow. Yellow I do like. And then the purple. Now, personally, I'm going to go ahead and leave it on the yellow because the yellow is kind of bright. Okay. So, and then all you have to do is press your fire button to select it. We've gone over just about everything in here. Again, this does hold 8 mils of e-liquid. We're going to go ahead and play with the RBA section now, and I'm also going to show you about the 510 adapter. So this is the 510 adapter that does come now included. It wasn't at first, but they have decided before releasing it that they are going to include it, which I think it should be, and they're actually including it. Now, they did have to increase the price just a little bit because they are including an additional piece, which is understandable. So this is what the bottom looks like. As you notice, it does match the bottom here. So you've got your magnets right there, and then you've got this piece here, which is going to serve as like the other connector since it doesn't have a coil. And all you have to do is boom, it's it's on there. It's really on there. It's not moving. It's literally there. So like for instance, I'm gonna go ahead and put it on my dang RDA. So I put that on. It does fit up to a 25 millimeter RDA or atomizer, a 25 millimeter atomizer without any overhang. If you notice, it does have kind of a lip, and that's because this is an angled down sort of top 510 adapter. So in order to make it level, they did have to put something around it to actually make it level with the atomizer so that you didn't have a tilting atomizer. So it does fit a nice up to 25 mil. You might be able to get away with a 26, but it does fit really, really nice, as you can see. The Manto Max RBA coil. With the Manto Max RBA coil, you're going to get, of course, your RBA coil. And inside the baggie, you're going to get the extra screws, extra O-rings, a Barbie screwdriver, as well as a 510 adapter. This is great because this way when you're firing your coil, you can actually put it on a regular atomizer to actually fire the coil. So I think that's great. So again, this is going to be your RBA coil, and that's what it looks like from the top. We're going to go ahead and unscrew the top. And that's what it looks like. It does take a single coil. So, and you can fit up to like a 3 millimeter. I wouldn't go any bigger than that, a 3 millimeter in diameter coil. And that is going to be your airflow, which is right there. And the airflow is going to come out the bottom. And then these are going to be your wicking ports. So all you're going to do is tuck your cotton into those ports. So let's go ahead and put on the 510 adapter. Look how smooth that is. This coil, to be honest with you, is bigger than most for a deck and for an RBA, honestly. And then all we're going to do is go ahead and put this on here. Really, really nice threading, and it fits perfectly on the 510 adapter that they're giving you anyway. So let's go ahead and zoom in so we can get a closer look at this. So that is what it looks like. And they are Phillips head screws that are actually installed, as you can see. So any Phillips head screwdriver will work. And then all you're going to do is just go ahead and loosen this up. And this is going to be how it goes. You see they open up nice and wide. Now, one thing about this is the way that they're sitting. If you do have any legs that are kind of thick or flat type of coil, it is going to kind of flatten out your legs or it'll twist them. For me, I'm actually going to be using my fuse Claptons, which these right here I get from Coil Clout. These are my favorite coils. Fuse Clapton, they're usually ohm out to around a 0.18 for 2. So this is going to be probably like around a 0.35 because I'm only going to use one. I'm just going to take that out. They are 3 millimeter in diameter. You can get these at coilclout.com. Use the coupon code Wendy and it gets you 10% off of anything on the site. But those are them, made of nichrome 80. So now, as you can see, both legs are going the same way. I'm actually going to fold over one. So I'm just going to put this on my screwdriver real quick. And then what I'm going to do is actually just go ahead and bend this leg the rest of the way over. And that way they're going to be one facing one way and one facing the other. So that's as easy as that. Now what I'm going to do is just go ahead and just lightly lay it right in there. One there, one there. And it's as easy as that. I mean, simple. So I'm just going to go ahead and hold that in the middle. Screw this side down. And then I'm going to screw this side down. And these are really chunky screws that are in here, so they're going to hold it down good. So I've got those in. I'm just going to straighten up my coil, and I want to bring it down some towards the airflow. Okay, and then all we need to do is grab our clippers, and we're just going to clip off the legs, making sure that it's really, really close. We have to have that really snug because this cap has to fit right back on it. So we're going to make sure that they're nice and snug. Nice and snug. Who says that? There we go. Okay, so that's all nice and centered. And what we're going to do is just go ahead and turn this on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to dry fire the coil. Unlock the things. Okay. And get some ceramic tweezers. Starting to heat up. Just pull a little bit on this side, pull a little bit on this side. This looks more to me like a single coil RTA than it does an RBA because of the size. It's really nice and big and spacious. It's small because it's a coil, but it's a big coil, so it's not too small. There we go. Get the last of those hot spots out. There we go. Now it's heating evenly from the inside out. For the cotton, I'm going to be using my Kendo Vape Cotton Gold Edition. And then all you need to do, look at that color. I love that blue. All we need to do is just go ahead and put that through like that, making sure it's nice and even. And then I'm going to just comb out the ends because we want it to fit in those little wicking channels right there. So we don't want to overstuff it. So I'm just going to do that. Grab some scissors and cut it right about there. Because I want it to just barely be going down under the coil when the cap is on. So barely in there. So let's do that side. And then what sometimes is a lot easier with this kind of wicking method is to actually wet it and then put them in. So I'm actually going to drip some e-liquid on it. I'll pull this through a little bit more. I'm going to drip some e-liquid on it, which I want to do anyway because I want the inside of the coil to be nice and saturated. I'll do that. There we go. We definitely want to saturate that. Saturate the inside of the coil. And when we do that, it usually comes right out the sides too. So, oops, if I have it in camera. Okay, and what I'm gonna do is just go ahead and take my tweezers and I'm gonna just put it right there in the channel. Now, for me, it's hanging down right under it. So I'm gonna trim off a little bit, but it does take it sometimes being wet for you to actually see where to cut it. So I'm just gonna cut off like that part right there. And now when I lay it down, it's just literally gonna be peeking right there. I'm gonna do the same thing for the other side. It's a little bit long. Let me go ahead and trim some of that. There we go. And now we can fit it right into those wicking channels with no problems. And we don't want it to be too far out because then the liquid won't be able to saturate up into it. That is the way that you want it. Now all you need to do is take your top cap, put your top cap on. It screws on really, really nice. It's one of the easier ones that I found that screws on. And then you have your RBA section. Now, if you notice, you don't really see a lot of cotton. It's up in there, but you're not really going to see it because that is so that it can actually saturate your coil. All you need to do then is just take off this 510 base. We don't need that any longer. And then you would just plug this in instead of the coil. And it would go in just like this. Again, you want to make sure that the airflow is on either side, same setup. You're going to put it in like that and then push it down and it's installed. That's all you have to do for the RBA. So here is the RDTA. RDTA, again, the RDTA and the RBA are sold separately. The 510 adapter does come included. So we've got our quality pass certificate, you've got your warning information, and then look at this RDTA. Do you see this? It comes with its own RDA. Have you ever, I've never seen anything like this. I was so excited to show you guys. Inside the extras, you're going to get some extra screws and you're going to get your Barbie screwdriver and some O-rings. You're not going to get any coils with this, which this is the one thing that I really think that if you're going to purchase this, they should have provided you with at least two coils, in my opinion. So here is the RDTA. Again, it does come with its own RDA on top. You do have your bottom piece. This is fixed. You don't need to take that out. It does have top fill just like the standard cartridge, except for this one, you're actually opening it from the top rather than the bottom. So you just lift it like this, and you want to be really careful when you open it up not to pull this little plug. So there is where you would fill it, put it back together just like that. Really, really nice and simple. Then we have the RDA portion or the top portion. It looks like an RDA, doesn't it? So what you're going to do is you're actually going to have your coils placed in here and your cotton is going to go down here. So yeah, that's what it looks like. Look at that. And then of course this is your airflow right there, but your cotton is going to go down there. Now with an RDTA, you can use any coils you want, any kind of coils you want. So we're going to go ahead and put in some, so I've got my fuse Claptons. We're going to go ahead and pull out two of these right here. Go again, coilclap.com, code Wendy. And now what I'm going to do is just go ahead and cut my coils, get those ready. Go to 5. Still think 4.5, but I'm going to go for 5. There we go. Cut our legs. Very, very simple. Love this tool. If you need one, CoilClap also has these too. I love mine. Ever since the first time I ever got it, I've used nothing else. Really, really nice and simple, and your coils are done. And then what we're going to do is these do have flathead screws, so you're going to go ahead and get your flathead screwdriver. And as you can see, I'm going to go ahead and open it with you watching. It's going to open up right there. You see it? There we go. We're going to open up this side. Isn't this crazy? I think this RDTA is really, really cool because it literally looks like you have an RDA. And we'll go over the top cap in a minute. But I had to show you this first because this is my excitement right there. When I'm excited about something, I go for that part first. So there we go. So again, we can go ahead and put this on the pod, but we don't even need that. We can actually put it on the pod. We can heat up the pod. So all we need to do is just take this out. And I can put this over here. So all we need to do is just, again, with those magnets, it's great. All right, so now all we need to do is install our coils. Just gonna go ahead and put this one here. Fits perfectly right there. Tighten that one down. Okay, then tighten this one down. And I'll put in the other one and then we'll straighten it out. Okay, put that one in there and then just tighten it down. Okay, and then all we need to do is just go ahead and straighten out our coils like that. And then lift it and pull it over here, just like that. Okay. And there's our build ready to go. So all we need to do now is dry fire it. Let's go ahead and fire it. Look at that, on a pod mod. This is crazy. I love this. And what I like to do is just pull mine out just a little bit to space them because sometimes they heat up just a little bit faster that way. There we go. Let's get them to space a little bit. Okay. There we go. They're starting to heat up nicely. Okay, now we can pinch them just a little bit. And pinch this side. It's got some hot spots in it. We want to get all those hot spots out. There we go. My lightning bolts. Okay, so we've got them heating evenly. Let's go ahead and get some cotton. But in the meantime, so let's go ahead and go over the top cap of this RDA type of section. So first you're going to have like your top right there. If you notice that it's got airflow right there. It's got a nice airflow adjustment. It does have a removable 810 drip tip, so you can use any of your own. And this has not just side airflow, but it's also got bottom airflow. So if you notice on the ring, it's actually got one for the top and one for the bottom. So when you can adjust your airflow like this, you can also adjust it by the airflow on the bottom. And that airflow right there is actually coming up through the middle. Those holes that are underneath the coil are actually bottom airflow. So you get airflow from the bottom and you're getting airflow from the top, and it's gonna sit just like that. It's really airflow everywhere. So this is definitely an airy RDA. And again, this is an RDTA. That means that the cotton is going to be sitting down inside of the cartridge. So I'm just going to go ahead and separate my cotton. Take this piece over here. I'm going to stick it right through. Grab it from the other end. There we go. Go ahead and wick that baby up. We want it to be long enough to hang inside. There we go. I'm going to do the other side. Okay. There we go. There we go. Just put that over there. Again, hanging on the other side. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just fluff them out right there. Fluff it out right there. Fluff it out right there. Fluff it out right there. We're just going to trim just the tiniest bit off. We're not going to trim it too much. Right about there. Yeah, right about there. Okay, now I'm going to measure it by putting in the first one, just like this. It's going to be easier if you do them one at a time, so you can get it to fit in there, and you can actually see the length by the side of it. Now for me, I know I've got enough in there, but it's just peeking through. But you don't need it all the way in, but you do need it peeking through. And go ahead and put in the other one. There we go. I can see it from over there. And then the other side, again, we just cut off the tip. I'm just going to put that one in. Try to stuff that one in and put this one in. Just like that. So both of them are in. This one's got just a little bit longer, but you can see both sides. So now what we need to do is wet the coils with the e-liquid so we can make sure that the inside of the coil is getting nice and saturated. So you need that cotton to be saturated within the coils. So I'm just going to go ahead and pulse and drip. Pulse and drip. Okay, that's enough there. And then just make sure that there's some on the ends. Just the first time. It's going to saturate by itself after the first time, but for the first time we do need to do this. Okay. Just put all them stragglies back in there that drive you crazy like me. Get it nice and even. It makes it easier to make sure that they're in there as well. And now what we need to do is just take this piece off here. But I like it that I can even get it with my nail, so I'm happy. Just pull that down. And then we're going to fill it. And this is supposed to hold the same amount, 8 mils. And fill that up. Swivel this around. Push that back in. Done. Heating up nicely. Put the top cap on. And again, with the top cap, you're going to have both. With the top cap or with the RDA top on it, you're going to have side and you're going to have bottom. To change the side, it's just using the top here. To change the bottom, you just need to turn the bottom like that. And that's pretty much it. So that is the RDTA, one that I have never seen like this ever. I'm really, really excited about this. I think that that's a great addition. It literally looks like a regular RDA kit. It really does. So yeah, so that's pretty much it for the review. Let's go ahead and go on top. We're going to take a look at all this and vape on all this. We're going to vape on the RBA. We're going to be vaping on the standard stock coil. We're going to be vaping on the RDTA. So let's go up top and have a vape. Okay, so here we are back on top with the Manto Max by Rincoe. This currently has the 1.5 ohm resistance coil in it. This coil does go anywhere from 80 to 100 watts, and I've got it just on regular wattage. Currently I have it at 55 watts. I'm going to start there and then I'm going to take it up for you. I swear to you, like a sub-ohm tank. But you've seen the coils. The coils literally look like sub-ohm coil tank, like sub-ohm coils. So that's a 55 watts. We're going to go ahead and take this up to 80, which is the lowest recommended. So there we are at 80 watts. And here we go. It's a lot warmer. At 55 watts, it's fine. It's a nice cool vape. You don't have to take it all the way up to 80. The recommended is between 80 to 100, but you don't have to do that. I want to let you know. You can always take it below the range, but you can't take it higher than the range. Let's go ahead and take this up to 85. So 85 watts. Still a nice, juicy, flavorful, airy vapor production coil. So let's go ahead and take that up to 90. 90 watts, which is almost the max, not even quite. And it does get warmer. For me personally, my favorite spot, if I'm going to go at the max, is like 85, but that's for me. I don't like a really hot vape. Now, if you like a really hot vape, we're going to take it up to 100. There we go, to 100. Same nice, juicy, warm. It does get a little bit warmer, not necessarily hot, but it does get a little bit warmer. I just prefer it a little bit lower. So like around 80, 85 is like my sweet spot at the max. Like, but I do vape this between like 70 to 85. Anywhere in that range is usually my sweet spot. Now, we're gonna go ahead and change it out and put the RBA coil in it. Okay, so now I have the RBA coil in it. I just had the triple coil in it, which again, the triple mesh coil is sold separately, but I personally like the triple better. I've tried out the single and the dual. They're very, very good, but for me, the triple is a little bit more my style. But yeah, so this is now the RBA section. I do have it at 57 watts. This is ohming out to a 0.37 resistance. So let's go ahead, single coil RBA deck. Works just beautifully. I mean, so far we've got the triple mesh. I've already tried off camera the dual and the single, but I want to try that triple just to give you an idea because the package already comes with single and dual. How does the triple feel, you know? So that is the RBA section. I'm getting same good clouds, same good flavor. With the 0.37 resistance, even though this is a single coil at that resistance, at 57 watts, it is a nice warm vape. I really don't have to take it up too much more. I'm going to go ahead and take it up to 65. But like 57 to 60 is my sweet spot. Nothing but flavor and clouds, I'm telling you. Now for my favorite part. Well, okay, before my favorite part, let's go ahead and put on that 510. So I've got the 510 adapter on, well, with these magnets, 510 adapter. I'm going to go ahead and put on here my profile RDTA, which by the way looks really good on it. So there it is with the profile RDTA. And I've got this, I'm going to lower this down just a little bit. So there it is with my RDTA, and let's have a vape. 510 adapter works absolutely amazing with it. Putting the 510 adapter and having it set up just like this is literally like having just a regular mod. Like any other mod that you have out there that takes dual 18650s, this feels just like it. You can put RDAs on it, RTAs, anything that you want for the top once that 510 is put on. And finally, for the moment we've been waiting for, this big mamma jamma, the RDTA. So again, all you have to do is just take off the standard cartridge, put on the RDTA cartridge, snaps into place. These magnets are ferocious, I'm telling you. This is ohming out to a 0.16, so I'm going to go ahead and have a vape. I have all the airflow wide open, so let's do this. Got a little tiny bit of a whistle. I'm going to actually turn this up, 85 watts. That's my sweet spot with this. 85 watts. As I was saying down below, the cotton doesn't have to go all the way to the bottom because when you vape like this. You don't vape like this, you vape like this. So that automatically, naturally wets your wicks. No matter if you're a thumb fire, you're a finger fire, you're always going to be tilting it. So it's automatically going to wet those wicks so they don't have to be all the way down. Now, if you want to put them all the way down, that is certainly up to you. You do have that right to do it. I personally don't do it because I would rather have more e-liquid capacity than to shove a whole bunch of cotton down there because that is going to minimize your e-liquid capacity, but it works just fine. I like a lot of airflow, and this gives it. You're getting bottom, you're getting side, you're getting everything. And I love the fact that this looks just like a regular kit that comes with an RDA. It doesn't even look like an RDTA. It doesn't look like a pod in any way. It actually looks like a regular, everyday, normal vape kit. So full-fledged kit, like what do you call them? I don't know, just a kit. That's my sweet spot. So yeah, so that is the Manto Max by Rincoe in all its glory. We went over the stock coil, went over the RBA coil, we went over the RDTA, and we went over the 510 adapter. All this has just been an amazing, I mean, I personally, my favorite part of this is going to be the RDTA. And that's because not a lot of these type of kits come with an RDTA, or not a lot of kits, well, this doesn't come. Not a lot of kits come where you can purchase an RDTA separately. I think there's one or two out there. But for this, it's got its own RDA. So a lot of the RDTAs still feel like a cartridge rather than feeling like an RDA, but this does. So it's really, really nice. On this, it does hold the same capacity as this one, and you're getting the choice. So you can actually purchase the RDTA. If you purchase that, then of course you do have this and you're gonna have the RDTA, but standard in the kit, you're actually gonna get it just like, you know, normal. You're gonna get the actual stock coils. You're going to get it just like this in the kit, plus you're going to get the 510 in it. So that's awesome. So automatically right away I'm going to say it's a pro for the RDTA. Love it. Easy to build on, easy to wick. Just make sure that you're not stuffing down that cotton, but you do want it to be a little bit under the rim when you put it in there. Absolutely easy to build on. Had no issues whatsoever. The RBA section, which you can purchase separately, as you could see, you can fit up to a 3mm inner diameter coil, and it's very easy to build on. Just put those leads right in, tighten them down, straighten out your coil a little bit, heat it up, wick it, and you're ready to go. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I absolutely love the way that it saturates, the way that I wick it with just not even, you know, a little bit hanging down on the sides of the RBA coil. That's perfect because it's going to go up with the capillary action. It's going to go ahead and wet those that cotton and get your coil saturated, and you're going to be able to vape absolutely beautifully. So I love those two things. Now let's go ahead and just talk about the kit and what it comes with, like the normal standard Rincoe Manto Max. I love it. I really do. The fact is that you've got a dual 18650 kit, which of course the batteries again do not come included. You do get the charging cable, but I don't recommend charging any type of batteries that you can remove. I always recommend having them on an external charger, but it does have 2 amp charging. So if you do need to charge it in a pinch, like just for an emergency, then you can do it, but I don't recommend solidly doing that way. I always recommend having an external charger, and it's always good to at least have 4 batteries. So you have 2 and then you have 2 as a backup so that you can still vape as you're charging up your battery. So that's just my spiel about that. The 510 adapter I think is a great addition to this. There was another kit out there that I reviewed that did not come with it, which I did recommend for it to come with, and Rincoe actually answered my prayers. They came with the 510. So if you want to turn this into a standard mod to use any of your own atomizers, you can do it by just putting this in. Fits nicely. It goes in very, very snug. You don't have to worry about it. The magnets are really, really strong. It's held in really, really well. But if you still have your atomizer on it and you pull it out, it'll come out. So it makes it easy. Now for this with the stock coils, I think the stock coils are amazing on this. My favorite is the triple coil, but if I'm going with just the ones that come with it, the dual coil is actually my favorite. I like the single coil. It's not giving me no problems. It's just that, of course, the single coil is going to be a little bit more airy because you got that big hole because it's only one single mesh coil. But that's just my personal preference. Either one of them work absolutely amazingly. I've tested it out and I haven't had any issues with it. This goes up to 228 watts. Would I ever use 228 watts? No, but it has that option. And in addition to that, it does round robin. So you don't have to go back down and go back up. Whether or not you're in temperature control or in regular variable wattage, you do have that option. It does have a color changing where you can actually change the colors on the display. That to me is another pro. And the mouthpiece, even though it is attached, is very, very comfortable. In addition to that, it's top fill. Top fill. Hello, top fill. I have been screaming for top fill for so long. Rincoe answered it. Any of them, either this or if you get the RDTA, they're both top fill. You don't have to take out the cartridge and turn it upside down. You don't have to do none of that. It's literally top fill, which is definitely a huge pro. Now, there are a couple cons that I do have about this device. The first con is going to be the fact that it's the display is kind of light. You can see it now because it's on camera, but even on camera, it's kind of light. There are a lot of others out there that are much brighter. If you change it to a color setting, you're really not going to be able to see it unless it's like that bright teal or the yellow or the white. That's when it's going to be brighter. But any of the other colors, it really makes it hard to see. So that is definitely a con for me. Another con for me, and it's not really a con, it's a subjective con, is the fact that when you do have the 510 adapter in there, you can only go up to maybe maximum 26 millimeters, and that's pushing it because it does have like that base in there. And I understand the reason for it, but because it has that base in it and that little lip section, you really don't want to get too big because then it will have overhang. But that to me, I just want to mention, it's not really a con because 24, 25 is usually the norm.
If it's not me.
but it's usually the norm, so I don't really want to give it a con, but I am going to give it a subjective con. Another subjective con is going to be actually the fact that you don't have a drip tip that you can change out. Now on the RDTA, it does take a standard 810 drip tip, so you can change these out, but the ones that come with the cartridge don't. Again, not a problem for me. I absolutely like it, but for you guys, it might be a problem, but for me, it's very, very comfortable. It literally feels like when you're vaping it, the inner diameter is almost the same as an 810, if not the same. So I really like it. It's not giving me a problem. Another con, and this is kind of a big con, when you buy the RBA deck, the thing that I think that is the con with that is the fact that it doesn't come with coils. Cotton, not necessarily. I mean, it would have been nice if it would have had cotton and coils, but coils most definitely. Whenever we get RBA bases, in the majority of the time, you do get coils with it. With the RBA base for this device, you do not get any coils. So that I'm going to mark as a con. But the RBA works so well, it actually works a lot better than most of them out there, to be totally honest with you. So for me to use my own coil, I really don't care, but I just would have preferred it. It would have been nice if it would have had the coils for them. So I am going to mark that as a con. Another thing is no adjustable airflow. Now, talking about no adjustable airflow, when you have it like this with the stock coil in it, when you have it like this with the RBA coil, I don't think that you really need airflow control, because this would be more for direct lung. So anybody who likes mouth to lung, this is definitely not for you. This would in no way be for you. But I would have liked to have some sort of airflow control in this device as it is. Now with the RDTA section, you do get airflow control because it's like an RDA with bottom and top airflow, or bottom and side airflow. So you do have it with that, but you do not have it with the regular, which is, again, it doesn't have massive airflow. You do have some airflow, but it's not massive. I don't really need to because it's my style of vaping. So I just want to warn you on that. There is no airflow control, and this is definitely not for mouth to lung. Flavor on it's really, really good. Coils are amazing. You do have, they are kind of beefy coils, but they're more to me like this is more like a all-in-one sub-ohm kit, to be totally honest with you, because those to me are sub-ohm type of coils. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for my review. Let me know down in the comments which part was your favorite of this whole review. Did you like the stock coils? Did you like the RBA coil? Or did you like the RDTA like me? Did you? Which one did you like? Now this is going to come in a couple of colors. I'm going to go ahead and leave the colors up here for you. And this kit can be found at Rincoe.com. You can also Google it and find other sellers or retailers for this device. I have to say that, you know, I really, really like this. I think this is great for what it is and for me. Another thing that I did forget to mention is the fact that this does have the MechMan chip in it. That means that this does have a 0.002 firing time. So that is also awesome. As soon as you hit that fire button, it's literally firing. And again, nice if you want warmer, you can literally do it with this device. So I really like that. And it's ergonomically friendly in the hand. No matter if you're a finger fire or you're a thumb fire like me, it's very comfortable in the hand and it's not too heavy, even with the 18650 batteries. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. Easy navigation menu. You've got variable wattage, you've got temperature control, and that's it. That's the way I like it. Keep it clean, keep it going. That's me. But yeah, so, and also, of course, you can change your wattage and temperature control. Another huge pro. So yeah, other than the cons that I mentioned, I think that this thing is definitely a huge pro all around. Thank you, Rincoe, for sending this my way for review. That does not change any of my opinion. I'm going to tell you if I like something or if I don't. In this case, I love the idea. I love everything that they've done, and it works in every single aspect. I really like it. That RDTA section is like unbeatable so far, in my opinion. But again, you know, it's an RDA on top of it. Why wouldn't it be, you know? So yeah, so that's pretty much it for my review. Leave me the comment down below, as I asked you before. If you're not already subscribed and you do want to see more of my content, go ahead and press that subscribe button right here. Don't forget to hit the bell notification, select all so that you're notified anytime that I upload a new video. And thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button if you liked it. Unlike if you didn't, you know who you are. And I will see you in the next one.